Alright. Let's see what we can do today. Compile, run. Alright, so we've got that. Now, first thing probably be to clean up some of these live objects. Because if we don't, who knows what will happen. Maybe the graphics driver will crash. Alright, so first of all, let's take some of these device, context. I should probably just put them into... I should probably put them into a struct so that it's easy to see what we have that's direct text related. Although, on the other hand, this makes it kind of easier to see what the blocks are doing. Yeah, buffer, layout, texture view, blend state, sampler, rasterizer state, width, height, show window. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna put them with instruct anyway. Struct, well, type def. Just put it in here. And I'm gonna have these two. We're gonna have that. Well, I mean, that's why I have two buffers. We're gonna have that. We're gonna have these three things. And we're gonna have that. Actually, are we gonna have that? Well, we do bind it, so like, yeah, let's keep it. Let's keep it. It is immutable though, right? Yeah, it is. It is. Let's remove that. Let's remove this. Yep. Sampler. Blend state. Rasterize state. RT view. Alright, so that's everything, seemingly. Yep, alright, so the first three need a semicolon. These equals zeros go away. That needs that. Alright. I mean, I don't even really need to name it. Right? I can just do this. Can I do that to clear it? I think I can. Alright, so now we just need to do D3D11 dot in front of all these things. Can I just do this? that's it. Okay, does that work? Yes. Alright, now that they're all in a struct. Okay, so this bool vsync stuff, let's just scope it. Yep. Yep. And now this current width, current height, let's put that into a struct. Okay, so this window class thing, yeah, we can probably scope all of this. Struct, okay, hwind is hwind, and then dword width, I mean width, height, whatever, that's pretty obvious what that is. Window. Alright, so window, window hwind is that. Window, init it to 0. Then anytime hwind appears, can we do this? No, cannot rename symbol. Alright. Alright. Window dot hwind. Alright, and this current width, current height goes away. Current width becomes window width. And current height becomes window height. Like that. Okay, yeah, we know. Yeah, alright, so compile, run, let's see. Yeah, that works. Like, how are we doing on global, on local variables in here? Let's find out. Locals. Pretty good. Yeah, that's it's pretty easy to follow. Okay, this is just a while loop, peak, while, peak message, if message, translate message, dispatch message. Oh, that's why it's an if statement. It's like, if you do if, then this will break the outer loop. I see. Let's verify that it works still. Close it. It closes, yeah. Right. Yep. So this is fine. Okay, so all of this really is kind of, well, I mean, all of this is its own thing. Message processing. Then all of this is just determining how big the window is. It's kind of its own thing. And this is obviously rendering, which is, again, kind of its own thing. Here we can just use window width and window height. Actually, it's not day 1 anymore, right? It's day 2. viewport color, set input, set primitive topology, set vertex buffer, set shader, set state, whatever, and then just do the presentation thing. Alright. Okay, this seems to be making sense to me, yeah. Okay, let's clean up some of those live objects. So that would be outside the loop. Yeah. So outside the loop, we just go in and well, we have this D3D11. No, we don't. Oh yeah, we don't. We don't. D3. Well, I mean, I guess we can find it this way. Yeah. We have this thing. Well, actually, we need to just take all of these, copy them in here, and just say d3d11.that.lpv table.release, and pass essentially yourself into that. Alright, well, presumably hold on. What's the win main signature? Win main, it returns an int. Well, it returns 0. Alright. So if we run this and close it, we don't have any live object, whatever, errors anymore. Seemingly, yeah. Okay, so we do the cleanup correctly. Let's commit that. Okay, what is this? Alright, so git ignore VS, ignore anything SLM, ignore anything RDBG, right? So yeah. Okay, what do we got? A lot of changes, but like it's not really worth talking about too much here. Yeah, alright. Main code, well, win main. Okay, how much time do I have? I have a bit more. I have a bit more time today. Okay, what else do we want to do? Like, we've got this far. The amount of time it took to launch, it's like honestly faster to switch. Oh my god, these tools are a joke. What else do you want? That's nice and fast. Well, we're processing these messages. Might as well make one of the rectangles move around, I suppose. Or, alternatively, we could not hard code what rectangles we're drawing, like this. Like, we're hard coding that stuff right now. So let's actually move this over here. And move that over there, because we need the byte definition. So this is kind of a platform thing. Okay, let's just section it off. Section platform. So none of this is platform dependent, really. Do we need string? No. D3D11 initialization code based on this. Okay, that's that done. Yeah, debug break. I guess we just have debug break, like we don't even need to include intrinsics or something. Yeah. Do we need the compiler? No. We do need all of this. Okay. So like right here in D3D11, what do we got? We got this vertex buffer where I'm saving positions and scales of things. Yeah, these positions should probably be somewhere. That's not here. Well. So it's bound as a dynamic, we can write to it, so really what I want probably is to just map it, right? How do you map stuff? I think it's like ID3D11 device map. Is there context? D3D11 context of PV table map. Yeah, so there is a map in the context. So D3D11 context resource. So we need to cast something as a resource before we map it, and the resource would be this buffer. Then it's just some kind of uint. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm guessing I'm gonna have to look that up. All right, D3D11 context map. Sub-resource. Number of sub-resources. Well, 0. Map type. Right. Well, right discard actually. And then another uint. What the CPU does, optional, yeah, I love that, 0. Mapped resource. What's the type here? D3D11 mapped sub-resource. Mapped. What's this? Yeah, it's not a pointer actually, it's like that. Okay. So mapped, if we look at it, yeah, it seems to have mapped correctly. Of course, we want to unmap it at some point before using it. but this mapped resource, so when you unmap, do we have a link to no? D3D11 context unmap. So it's the resource that you submit to that, and there is no sub-resources. The speed, so we actually don't need the mapped thing at all. This we don't need. We do need to keep around the vbuffer pointer. But other than that, I mean, mapped pieces p data pieces. So this is just what, struct vertex. Oh my god, struct vertex. Type def struct vertex vertex. How's that? Actually, try struct vertex. It's just vertex now. Vertex star. Well, actually, I mean, I guess that just goes in there. Mapped, something like this. And really, this vbuffer thing should be something like vertices dot buff. Something like that. So we're gonna have to take this out here. And just say that wherever our vbuffer is, that's actually going to be a struct. Vertices. I mean, it's not really vertices though. Like it's really rects. And this is like rect. Instance, I guess. Buff, and then rect instance mapped. It's like that. Alright. Okay, well, vertex is now rect instance. Did I compile? Yeah, it compiles. It's not gonna run. We're not gonna be submitting this initial data anymore. Byte width. Oh well. Here, oh yeah. All right. So this vertices. Rect instance mapped. Okay, you know what? This is gonna be another struct, which is like mapped here. Struct buffer, struct rect instance footer, and then what, like I64, I guess, size, capacity. Okay, so byte width is gonna be size of D3D11 rects mapped footer, except, you know, like dereferenced. Size of would be that times D3D11 rects mapped capacity. So we're gonna have to set that to something. Length 0 initially, so that's the width. And bind to the vertex buffer, yes. So that's the width of the whole thing. There is gonna be no initial data. No initial data. Okay, so this D3D11 rects buff. Yeah, that's fine. Then mapped is gonna be that. Rects mapped footer is that. Okay, so we have a pointer and a capacity, and I've essentially allocated that array. Okay, so does that compile? It compiles, yeah. So at some point we're gonna have to unmap that before presenting. Before presenting, we want to unmap it. So basically, what's gonna happen here is when we draw the thing, draw instanced, we want to draw D3D11 rects mapped length, right? Okay, well, not size, it should be length. Like that. Okay, so right now it should probably crash somewhere. Well, I mean, okay, it's not crashing here because it doesn't work. It will break here probably. Yes. It's just okay. Yeah, draw instance. Yeah, that correct. And in this debugger, we can actually see the message. Draw cannot be invoked while resource is mapped. Yeah, which is what you'd expect. One debugger breaks correctly, the other debugger displays output. We have another debugger that does both, but I can't synchronize it with editor location. Oh my god. Alright, so we need to unmap it, obviously, before doing this. So if we have an RT view, so I guess, like here, you would just, well, I mean, I guess we can just keep it mapped until the last second, like until here, D3D11 dot context dot lpv table dot unmap, and we'll have to pass the context in, and D3D11 resource star. So what is this? D3D11 dot rects dot mapped dot, no, not that, rects dot buff. I think that's that. Yeah, yeah. So we unmap the thing, then we map it again. Map. Okay, so how do we map things again? buffer 0 right div. Well, I mean, let's just copy the arguments like that. I mean, we could just copy that whole thing pretty much. So unmap, draw, then map. So right now it should work and without errors. It is working without errors. It's not drawing anything because we're not supplying it with any actual rectangles. So right here, we could just do that. We could just push some rectangles in. 3D11 rects mapped, but I suppose this is really an and rect instance. So we're pushing this thing, which is rect instance, position and scale. Well, position is gonna be, let's say 0, 0, and scale is gonna be 0.1, 0.1. Okay, so our push needs to be defined. Alright, well, the core of it is just, I mean, okay, so array and value. Okay, so let's put this in parentheses. So array dot putter array dot lang plus plus equals value, right? So okay, the value needs to be wrapped. Array needs to be wrapped. Okay, so that's pretty much the core of this thing. So if we just look at it, putter equals that. Yeah, so that is what we want. It'd be nice to have some bounds checking here though. So let's see, can we just do this? Assert r dot lang is smaller than r dot gap. Is that something we can do? Comma, let's say. Expected expression. Yeah, okay, so that's not something you can do. So you can't comma separate these things. You could probably semicolon separate them though. Alright. Okay, well now we're not returning anything. So we're not returning anything from here. So as long as we don't need to return anything from this macro, I think this is fine. This is just an assert. And a push. Alright. Alright, so hold on. So we unmap, then we map again. Okay, so once we do this right discard thing, that essentially means that D3D11 rects mapped lang becomes 0. because that discards the previous contents, right? Alright. Yeah, seemingly that's working. Because if we... Yeah, I mean, at this point it's been more than 1,024 frames. I think... Alright, I mean, I guess this doesn't really need to be scoped for now. Let's push another act in there. X 0.5, Y 0.5. So this is what we had before, pretty much. But now we're pushing them here. What time is it? 35, okay. Well, let's commit that. Push rect instances in loop. Sounds something like that. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thanks everyone.